Now, I've made many mac and cheeses, but I've never made a Mexican mac and cheese, and that's what I'll be making for you today. This is a recipe that was given to me by my friend Richard Reed. He loves Mexican food, and he also likes mac and cheese. So to start with, we need some diced chorizo sausage. He says it's very important to add chorizo sausage for the smokiness that comes out of it. So we'll add a little oil to a pan, and we're going to fry this off until it's really crispy. So about a teaspoon of olive oil. You don't need too much because the chorizo sausage has some fat through it and it will render out. So into the pan, and I'll just give that a stir and a toss. Lovely. To this, I'm going to add some finely diced green capsicum. You could use a red one too, depending on your preference in colour. And another stir. And while that's cooking away, I'm going to chop one onion. So finely chop the onion. So this is going to be the base of our mac and cheese. And at this stage, you can change up the ingredients. I love the addition of corn in it. I'm also going to add some chipotle and adobo sauce, which is very Mexican and is going to give it a really nice smoky flavour too. So we'll add this onion to our chorizo. Ideally, we want the capsicum and onion to go really soft and that chorizo to go slightly crispy. Now, while that's cooking away, we can get onto the white sauce. This is almost like the glue to our mac and cheese. So I'm going to turn a pot on a medium heat. I'll add some butter. And we just want that butter to melt before I add some flour. So just some plain flour. You want even amounts of flour to butter. That's the general rule when it comes to a bechamel or a white sauce. And we're going to be making a roux. So now that that's melted, we'll pop that in. And with a wooden spoon, we're going to give this a mix. And you want to cook off the flour. If you don't cook off the flour, we're going to have that raw flour flavour. We don't want that. So just mix that until it's well combined and it starts to toast. Now for the milk, you want to add a splash of milk to start with. Incorporate it until there's no lumps, and then we can add a little more. See how it absorbs quite quickly? A little more. And then I always find it easier if you transfer over to a whisk. It just ensures that that milk binds quite easily. A little more milk. And then continually whisk that. And then once it starts to become that white, silky consistency, then we can add the rest of the milk and bring it to the boil, constantly whisking it until we have a nice, thick white sauce. Okay, this white sauce is thickening up nicely, so it's time to add our macaroni. We need 1 packet of macaroni, and I'm going to cook it al dente. I don't want it to be overcooked. Once it is al dente, we'll take it out of the water and strain it. Now you can see how much this mixture is cooked down. It's golden brown and the onions are really soft. My white sauce is nice and thick. And now it's time to add the corn. Now you can use frozen corn if you like. I found some beautiful fresh corn, so I've just cut it off the cob. And I like to leave it to the last minute because I really want that pop of sweetness. I want it to be crunchy. So essentially I'm just folding it through and just warming it up. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off. We'll add this to our pasta that is perfectly cooked and drained. So just pour that over. Yum, so much flavour in this. And then to finish off the white sauce, we need to add some cheese. So some cheddar cheese, a few generous handfuls of freshly grated cheddar cheese. Leave some back for the topping. And then this is what makes it extra special, the chipotle in adobo sauce. It's chilies that have been dried, smoked, and also added to a tomato sauce. Now you can get this at selected supermarkets, or all delis have this too. So we'll add that and then fold this through. This is so yummy. Look at that cheese as it melts into that thick, glossy white sauce. So once that cheese is melted into that bechamel and it starts to become really gooey, just like that, we can pour that into our pasta mixture Yum. So you really want to get your ratios right when it comes to white sauce to pasta. Nothing worse than a mac and cheese that's not cheesy or too dry. That is a lot of sauce, but I promise you it's worth it. Now I'm going to fold this through just gently, making sure that we get even amounts of that corn, chorizo and white sauce coating each individual small little macaroni. Okay, now I'm going to place it into an oven-proof baking dish. If you wanted to, you could eat this straight away, but I like a crunchy topping on this. So we're going to pour it into our baking dish, extra large one. This is probably a 3-litre baking dish. And spread it out so it's quite even. And I have been preheating my oven. It's just on the grill element. This is all cooked. Essentially, we're just wanting to make a crispy golden topping. But I'm not done yet. For this topping, I'm not only going to add cheese, but I'm going to add corn chips. This is one of those things that you don't have every day, right? But it's a treat. So with the remaining cheese, I'll add some corn chips, and I'm just going to break them up with my hands. And this is going to give us a really nice crunch on the top. You could use breadcrumbs, but instead of breadcrumbs, I wanted to keep with that Mexican theme. So corn chips work really nicely. So scrunching it up with your hands, mixing it in with the cheese, a few more. Fantastic. Now we'll just sprinkle that over the top. Spread it to the sides, and so it's nice and even. And now that goes under the grill for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until it's golden brown and that cheese has melted. Wow, that is epic. That is a serious mac and cheese. Golden on the top. Oh, crispy, so crispy. And look how moist that looks, so cheesy. Now you can see I've given myself a small plate because I know how I am. If I don't give myself a small plate, I will give myself a large portion. So I'm controlling myself. Just a small portion of delicious mac and cheese. Here. You know what? Serve this with a salad. Actually, I take that back. With this, forget about the salad. Just enjoy. This is definitely treat food. I love it.